The bucket list. Who at least hasn't thought of making one? Most of the time, bucket lists don't get past the concept phase. They're often fantasized dreams that are never quite realized, but fun to make. Well, about 10 years ago, I decided to make one just for fun. Over the years, I've done my best to tick off items off the list, but as I've aged, my list has actually only grown, and it's become more realistic, it's become more meaningful, it's definitely become more organized. At first, it was just scribbles on a page, but now I have different sections and side quests and challenges. You'll see. I have managed to take a few items off the list, and some are more straightforward, like learn to ski, travel there, go here. Some are yearly challenges, write every day for a year, hike 300 miles, that sort of thing. Some are lifelong challenges, learn how to play guitar, write 500 poems, and some are a little stranger. And others balance a fine line of being technically done, but not really, so I have to learn where to literally draw the line. I've broken my list into different categories to help organize my thoughts. Big ticket items are the things you find on most people's lists. Go skydiving, ride a hot air balloon, see the northern lights, visit all 50 states. Then I have my adventure items, my adventure bucket list. And these go hand in hand with my passions for hiking and biking and generally being outdoors. And these are a little more personal to me. They're trails I want to hike, peaks I want to summit, that sort of thing. And then there's my fishing bucket list, and it's because I love fishing and grew up watching River Monsters. And I think every angler has a list of fish they would like to catch. I just wrote mine down. Then I have my international cities lists, I have concerts I want to go to, all sorts of things. So it seems that every time I mark something off my list, I add two more, which is a good thing, I think. Stepping out of my comfort zone and learning something new always leads to more ideas, and I call these new ideas side quests. For example, write a book was something I've always wanted to do, and I think it's something a lot of people want to do. When I actually managed to write a book, I realized that I just have a bunch of papers with words on them, and I wanted to do the next step, so I added a side quest of publishing my book. It was a natural progression, I found, and every time I marked something off, I added another thing to the list, all the way until I actually self-published the book. And I found that throughout the journey, I had more pride in actually completing the book. So this is why my bucket list, I don't think, is ever going to end. The more I do, the more I learn, the more I want to push my skills and keep it alive. And that's what brings us to this video. Learning photography was on my list for a long time, and I think I've come to the spot where I can confidently mark it off, or at least I'm close to. Maybe you'll see in another video. But a side quest under learn photography is learning videography, and I already have the camera and all the equipment for photography, so it's just a natural progression to learn videography next. After making a few short videos, I realized I want to push it further, so I made the side quest of making a YouTube series. Now, only what that series can be about. All right, the bucket list. It actually gives me a really cool platform to make videos, which I found in photography to be the hardest thing, right? You have a camera, but what do you take pictures of? Me chasing my bucket list gives me a good platform to make all sorts of different content, and it's gonna be all over the place. Some is gonna be about hiking, some is gonna be about fishing, but overall it's about the journey and that sweet, sweet strike through at the very end. So I hope you'll come along with me on this journey, and this is really just a place for me to learn videography and mark yet another thing off my list, but I think it's gonna be fun along the way. So what do we do first? It is the middle of winter, and I've always wanted to see the Grand Canyon. How about let's start there.